and welcome back to my channel, or if you're brand new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Brooke and I post at least one video a week, so subscribe for more if you would like to see more of me and hear more of my videos. Also give this video a thumbs up. I love you guys' support. It motivates me to post videos and I appreciate it more than you know. Follow me on my Instagram and Snapchat. It's a great way to keep in touch and see what I'm doing in between videos. And last but not least, turn on that notification bell. It will notify you every single time I post a video, so you can be one of the first to come and watch my video. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. So today's video is going to be another story time. So as you guys can already tell from the title, this is the story of when I got my teacher fired. So we're gonna set the scene. I was in 7th grade, 12 years old, and so you can kind of get an idea for 12-year-old Brooke. I was very shy, very into my academics, was kind of a kiss up to teachers, and I just took school very seriously. School was my entire life, so I did anything for that A. I was living in Southern California at the time. That's where I was born, that's where I grew up. So we got this teacher, and we're gonna call him Mr. Garcia. So Mr. Garcia was a younger teacher. This is like the first day of school. So he was a younger teacher. I thought he was going to be really cool. He was pretty soft-spoken. And you know, whenever you get a young teacher, you're just kind of excited because you're like, this teacher's probably going to be like super laid back, not going to give a lot of homework. He's going to be cool and nice. No. So we started school on a Wednesday, and then when the next Monday rolls around, he comes to school and he just like looks totally different. And he was like, I just want to let you guys know that the honeymoon phase is over. We're not joking around anymore. It's going to be serious from this point on. And like I was kind of thinking, okay, you know, the teacher wants to like be tough and like set standards for his kids, and I wasn't really thinking anything of it. But girl, he was so serious. So kind of right off the bat, he noticed that I was a try-hard in school, that I like worked really hard, that I would do anything for that A, that I was just a really good student. And for some reason that really bothered him. He just would like kind of find ways to like embarrass me during class or make me feel bad about myself. And I thought, you know, oh, this teacher is just like a jokester or whatever. And it just started getting worse. So I think the first like real incident that happened was I got pneumonia. And I was very sick. I was out of school for like 3 weeks. I was stressed out the whole time I was in bed thinking, oh my gosh, I'm missing so much work. I'm gonna miss so many things. So we started having work being sent home to me. And for some reason, I wasn't getting any homework from Mr. Garcia. So then 3 weeks later, I come to school and sitting on my desk was a stack of papers, maybe this thick. And there's a sticky note on top that said Brooke. And I like kind of laughed thinking, oh, like he's just joking. And he's, you know, this isn't really what I have to do. He goes, Brooke, did you get your work on your desk? And I was like, oh, you actually want me to do this? Like I didn't know, like you didn't really give me the instructions. And he goes, oh yeah, that's all due by Friday. And I was like, come again? So confused. My mom had emailed all my teachers saying, you know, like send homework home with whoever's picking them up for her, and he never sent any homework home. So he obviously knew that I was asking for homework so I could stay ahead in my classes. But no, he waited until I was back from school to punish me with like a 3-inch stack of papers. So you know what, as the good student I was, I stayed up till probably 1 in the morning every single night working on this big packet. So I got there on Friday and turned in the stack of papers. And he starts laughing hysterically. And I didn't know why he was laughing, so I kind of stood there like awkwardly, you know, sweet innocent Brooke, and he goes, I can't believe you actually did all that work, I was joking. That dude totally played me. Like, he literally had me do a 3-inch packet of work for literally nothing. But then he goes, I actually do have a test for you to take. And I look at him and I was like, I didn't know I had a test. And he goes, yeah, the class took it while you were gone. And I was like, oh, I had no idea. Is there a study guide or anything? And he goes, no, you'll be fine. You can just go take it in the hallway. And I was like, can I have the weekend to study for it? Can you give me a study guide and I can have the weekend to study for it? Like, I had no idea I had a test. I haven't been to class. I don't even know what this, you know, what this test is on. And he goes, no, you'll be fine. Just go get a pencil. So I went out into the hallway, and the minute I looked at the first question on the test, I literally burst into tears. It asked for specific dates of random obscure events that happened in history that people are going to be like, what the heck? And then we had to like do matches with names of people and events and dates, and obviously if I hadn't studied and I didn't know what the stuff was on, I'm going to flunk this test because this is such persnickety information. I'm gonna have no idea what this is on. And I turn it in and he goes, okay, let me grade it. You can stand right here while I grade it. So I'm standing at his desk, and he just literally, I don't even think he looked at the test, he looked at the answers or anything. He takes his red pen out and just starts slashing all of the things. And I was thinking, okay, did I really miss all of these? Did I seriously miss every one of these questions? Did I not guess anything right? And he doesn't even look at it. I mean, he wasn't even looking at what he was grading. He was just slashing these things. And then he wrote, you know, the grade on the paper. I don't remember on the test. I don't remember what I got, but I think it was like a 10% or something really, really low like that. And he hands it to me and he goes, okay, I'll finish the grade book by tonight. And he like smiles at me, just this awful, evil smile. Flash forward in the class, we had a period called PLC. I don't remember what PLC stood for, but it was kind of like a study hall where everyone was assigned a different PLC class and they would just go work on homework and stuff. So of course, my PLC was assigned to Mr. Garcia's classroom. You're allowed to talk and collaborate and work in groups. In fact, it is encouraged that you work together because this is the time where students can kind of bounce ideas off of each other and help each other out. So I'm sitting in a group with 2 other people and we're working on some sort of project. And Mr. Garcia is at his desk and he looks up and he goes,
Brooke, if I hear your voice one more time, I'm sending you outside.
And it was a really scary voice. And of course, everyone in the class is staring at me. And I sit there, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And in my head, I'm like, what did I do wrong? We're supposed to be working together. We're supposed to be talking. And at that time, like I said, I was just kind of quiet and shy. I didn't have a loud voice. I was not loud by any means. So he just totally said that to embarrass me for literally no reason. So at this point, I'm like literally whispering. I'm like whispering because I did not want to be yelled at again. He stands up, walks over at my desk, slams his hand down on all of my papers in front of my desk while I'm like sitting in this little group, and he goes,
get outside.
And he like points, and his voice is just like so scary, like a PE teacher yelling at you kind of voice. And I had no idea what I did wrong. Literally no idea. So I walk outside and it was boiling hot outside. This was, I would say September maybe. And so it was really, really hot. There's no overhang above his classroom. So I'm just standing on the asphalt, which is black, and the boiling heat outside. And this was the first time I had ever been in trouble in school, like ever. And I like literally couldn't believe that I was just treated to and talked to this way, and everyone just saw it. You know, when you're 12 years old, when you're just like a prepubescent, you know, preteen, things like this really affect you. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and probably 15 minutes goes by, and I'm just standing there. So then finally he comes outside to talk to me. He gets this close to my face, so close that I could smell his breath, that we were almost nose to nose, like it was just so close. And he gets in my face and he points his little finger at my face, and I don't remember exactly what he was saying to me, but I remember he was spitting, and he kept spitting while he was talking, and it was just like spitting in my face, and he's like,
you know why you failed that test? It's because of your attitude.
He was referring to the test that I mentioned to you guys before, the one that I, got like a 10% on. He's like,
you think you're better than everyone else, don't you?
And he was just telling me that I think I'm better than everyone else, that I walk around with my nose in the air, that I'm cocky, and I'm like, at the time, I was so insecure of myself. So when he was saying this to me, it was like such a shock to my system. He was getting in my face saying like,
what do your parents teach you? Did they teach you any morals?
And he was just like insulting my parents, insulting everything. And I started to cry, like almost immediately after he started talking to me. Eventually it was over and he's like,
go sit down, and if you talk one more time, I'm sending you to the principal's.
So I go sit down at my desk, everyone watches me walk in. So I'm sitting down, and then I put my head down and I'm trying to keep the sobs semi-quiet while I'm bawling. And he comes down beside my desk. He comes down and sits on top of my desk beside me. So I'm like this, and he's kind of like sitting right here, and he goes,
I'm sorry, did I make you cry? Was I not very nice to you? I'm sorry.
It was just like the most demeaning, sarcastic. I couldn't believe what was going on that day. By the way, he wasn't just harassing me, even though I definitely got the brunt of it. He was harassing other people in my class. And one day we were sitting in class watching a movie, some sort of, history movie. He was my history teacher. And we're sitting down watching this movie, and he kneels down beside me and goes, hey, I've been staring at you. And this is not a lie. This is 100% real. He goes,
I've been staring at you for the longest time at my desk, and you look so familiar to me. Like, I feel like I've known you, like, for a long time, and I know that I haven't. Do you have any baby pictures with you?
I think this was the first time I was ever, like, actually sassy with him, and I looked at him and I go, why would I have a baby picture of myself on me? Why would I carry that around with me? And he goes,
are you Mexican? Are you any sort of, like, South American?
And I was like, no, I'm Russian and Israeli. And that was just another really weird circumstance. Flash forward again, and there was this girl, let's call her Susie. There was this girl named Susie in my class. And she was just kind of more, we were all 12, we were 12 or 13 in 7th grade, and she was just a little bit more developed for, our age. She had already developed like boobs and everything. She was womanly, she had like beautiful curves. And so she was wearing a skirt in class. And Mr. Garcia stops his lecture in the middle of class and goes,
Susie, can you shut your legs? It's distracting me from teaching.
The entire class went silent. Like, everyone just couldn't believe that. And poor Susie starts crying, and I felt so bad for her. Susie was my friend, and I just couldn't believe that this was just said in front of the entire class. And then during that class period, Mr. Garcia also made several sexual jokes about our parents, and about the parents, and he was like, you never know what goes on behind closed doors in your parents' bedroom. Like, always keep your pillow over your ear so you don't have to hear anything you don't want to hear. And I remember thinking, like, where did that just come from? Like, why did he just say that? That had nothing to do with anything we're talking about. Flash forward again, I'm just kind of saying a bunch of instances before I actually tell about how he got fired. We were in class, we got to class, and we started hearing whimpering and barking. And we're like, where is that barking coming from? And it sounded like it was coming from towards Mr. Garcia's desk. And then he turned on music, which he never did. He turns on some music and he starts acting just really weird. Come to find out, he had a litter of puppies zipped up in a sleeping bag under his desk. And so just kind of weird instances like this would happen. He would just be awful to me. He would make comments about my appearances. He always would point out how light I was, how light my skin was. Just really weird things that teachers should never talk about. So a group of girls and I went to the principal's office, and we kind of talked about what happened. We told them every instance. The principal brought in his main guy the next day, and we had to go meet with the main guy and say what happened. And really nothing could be done about this teacher unless we had proof. So Susie, remember the girl that had shot her legs, brings her phone to class the next day, or a week later, whatever. And we're watching an R-rated movie in class. He's showing an R-rated movie to 12 and 13-year-old 7th graders. And this movie was so gory and so disgusting and had sex scenes and, bad words and just things that are just very, very, very inappropriate for us to be watching. And I remember boys were putting their heads down because they couldn't look because people were getting their heads cut off. So Susie's filming this. And then that day, Mr. Garcia says, Brooke, Susie, I'd like you to stay after class today. So we're thinking, oh, great. But Susie's probably stoked because she's like, I'm going to get this all on video and you're going down. He sits us down in class and he tells us that we need to dress more professionally and less distracting for the boys in class. We took that to the principal's office, and Mr. Garcia was gone. The very next day, he was gone. We had a substitute, and the substitute told us that Mr. Garcia was in some sort of training in Georgia, some sort of teacher training. Obviously BS, there was no training. And that's the last time we ever saw him. So that was how Mr. Garcia got fired. There were some things that I didn't include in the story time just for the sake of time. So if you want a part 2 of this video, I will tell you guys even more what happened, including lots more sexual harassments, lots more racial slurs. If you guys want to know about that, let me know down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's going to be pretty controversial and I'm going to get hated on. Whatever, leave me a comment down below for any requests. Follow me on my Instagram, my Snapchat, subscribe, thumbs up, and I love you guys so much.